I'm heading out to do a little bit of venturing. It is the last Friday of February 2020. Getting kind of a late start. It's like 12:35, and the place I'm going is 2 hours and 20 minutes away, so not going to be getting there till about 3 o'clock. Had to take care of some stuff this morning, so I was not able to get out of town early. Daughter was supposed to come along, but she's not feeling good, so, which kind of sucks that she couldn't come along, and also because I lost my film crew. It's always nice having her along because she's kind of like my little film crew. She's really good at operating the camera and getting the footage that I want to get. So anyways, gonna be heading to Mapleton, Oregon. Roughly I'm between Corvallis and Eugene right now, and gonna be doing 2 total hikes. First one is gonna be Sweet Creek Falls. Doing that one today because I'm getting there late and it's only 2 miles, so hopefully I can get it all done before it gets dark, which would be nice. Then I'm going to find some place to camp wherever I can find a place. Throw up the old rooftop tent, base camp it out, and then tomorrow morning I'm going to do Kentucky Falls, which on the read up on it, I heard that the trail going, or the road going in there is a little rough, so I wanted to get plenty of time to do that so I can get an early start tomorrow to do all that. The trail's only about 4 miles, but when I get done, I have almost a 2.5 hour drive to get home, so I want to get home by 3, so I want to get that trail wrapped up by like noon at the latest, so I will be getting an early start. So Francisca from Hike Oregon let me know that these 2 hikes were close together. I was just going to do Kentucky Falls on Saturday, but she's like, you should go to Sweet Creek Falls if you can. So I just decided to do an overnight, knock them both out. So it's going to work out good, I hope. So yeah, speaking of Francisca from Hike Oregon, I'll also give her a little bit of shout out too. She's been really supportive of my channel. She runs a YouTube channel, Hike Oregon, as well as hikeoregon.net website, and I believe she's at Hike Oregon on Instagram as well. She recently is going full-time, which is kind of a scary and exciting thing to do. Congratulate her. If you're watching this, Francisco, congrats, and thanks for all the support of my channel. She is really a wealth of information as far as hiking in general, especially hiking in Oregon. She has lots and lots of good information, and that's actually what I'm doing this year. Is I'm doing her book. As you guys, if you're following along my channel, you very well know. Following along with the guidebook, doing all the hikes that she has there. And so far, I'm going to be 11 hikes deep, and everything has been great. Enjoyed it. So anyways, yeah, it's going to be a long drive, so I figured I'd take a chance to kind of chat with you guys in my community a little bit. One of my favorite things I enjoy doing is having all the social interaction with everyone in this community and the outdoor community all together. I really enjoy it. So we made it through Eugene. Luckily, traffic on that belt line going the opposite direction east was ridiculous. It was backed up for probably, oh my God, I don't know, 3 miles. So happy I was on the other side. There was like almost zero traffic. So we are on 126 now. We're heading out of town. So I saw a sign back there that had me cracking up too. Apparently there's a winery out here called Sweet Cheeks Winery. Oh man, someone has a sense of humor when they're creating the name for that place. So awesome. Eugene is kind of a little mixed bag town. Got a little bit of everything going on here. So, actually lived here for a couple of years when I was a young kid, for about 2 years. Hardly remember it. I think I was in like maybe early elementary school. My parents moved out around quite a bit, or at least my mom. I was with my mom. We moved around quite a bit when we were younger. So, lived in lots of different places. Unfortunately, moving around a lot comes with its own challenges socially, as far as schools with kids and stuff. And at the time, I think it kind of made me more shy, but it also kind of helped me to be able to adapt a little bit more to making friends and being in different situations and kind of learning how to deal with those new situations. So you've probably seen him, but I got the Zeus dog with me, my faithful companion. This dog is so smart. He's since we've been hiking this, 11 hikes in, he's so used to going hiking with me now on the weekend. Every time I go downstairs to open the garage door, he's like running down there. He's thinking we're going hiking, whether we are or we aren't. He's always super excited to go. Dog just loves it. Loves getting outside. So I'm passing all these places here on 126. It just brings back old childhood memories. We just passed this place, Peninsula is kind of Peninsula Park. I remember going out there when I was a kid and going out there and going swimming out there in that, I don't know what it is, looks like almost like a slough, but I remember heading out there and swimming. I know there's like lots of little places along here that I remember as a kid. I'll probably come up on them. We lived in like Florence for a while too. We lived all along this area. My mom's boyfriend, he was a logger, so he was like always working for these different random like logging companies and getting these logging jobs that would last for whatever amount of time, and we would live in that location, and then we would move to a different location wherever his next job or his next place was that he was going to work. So it was definitely interesting. Oh yeah, so we're just coming into Veneta. Lived here too. Oh man, for a short time. I don't know how long. I don't remember so well back then, but yep, this is all looking really familiar. These little towns, they don't change a whole lot, a little bit of growth here and there, a little bit of new construction stuff, but in general, they pretty much stay the same. So we have turned off on Sweet Creek Road, just going outside of Mapleton now. And the drive out here has definitely showed me this is logging country. There's just logging outfits all over the place. Cut down trees, houses with logging trucks and logging equipment in them. It's definitely logger central out here. After we went through the big tunnel before Mapleton, the weather has changed. It's starting to sprinkle a little bit. I knew it was it wasn't supposed to start raining till about 5 o'clock, and it's almost 2:30 right now. So I guess it's coming a little bit early. It's just kind of like misting. So I'm hoping I'll get lucky and maybe it won't like pour rain or anything like that. It's fine if it does. got all the gear to accommodate rain. I'm fully geared up and ready for whatever's going to come at me. But, you know, it's a little easier to film if we're not getting a downpour. So anyways, I will talk to you more once I get to the trailhead. So we just pulled up to Sweet Creek Falls. It's a small little trailhead. Looks like maybe 5 or 6 cars could park here. There's a pit toilet. Zeus is acting up back there. He's getting really excited to go. I did see a sign coming up here that I guess if I keep following this road, it'll take me to Kentucky Falls. It's quite a farther drive. I don't know. It said like 21 more miles I think I got to go. I know that road looks really windy, so I'm not sure if I'm going to go that way or not. My only other alternative, though, is to go back into Mapleton and then come back some other way. So I'll probably end up taking this just because it's more convenient, even though it's more windy. Anyways, we're going to get geared up and then get out on that trail. It's about 2:40 right now. It is overcast. The weather did change, like I mentioned earlier, but it still should be pretty beautiful. Can't wait to get out there. So this is the road. It's paved right now, but it's been gravel off and on. And then got the rooftop tent, just kind of let a slow pull out. There's like little logging spots all through here. Got the rooftop tent out. Talked to another gentleman. He was trying to find Kentucky Falls too. It is like almost 5 o'clock now, so I'm not sure if he was going to try to camp out. He had a dog as well. Got a bunch of my gear in the back. There's a steak I'm going to make up for dinner. And then over here on this side, I'm using kind of the underneath of the rooftop tent where it hangs over is kind of like my coverage. And I got my little table here where I can cook on. And then my little chair where I'm just going to hang out and eat dinner. And then after we get done with that, then it'll just be off to bed in the rooftop tent. I'm noticing something new with the rooftop tent. This is probably only maybe my 3rd time in the rain. I usually only use this in the summer. It collects, you know, rain, of course, on the fly up there. Well, if it builds up enough and then you start climbing up on the ladder, the weight from the ladder brings the rooftop tent down a little bit, and then this will drain all over you. So you got to be careful. You got to kind of get up there and kind of get the rain off of it before you start climbing up there. Otherwise, you're going to get rain all the down your back, which I just did. So Zeus is chomping at the bit to get some of my steak. Zeus, get back. It is done now. I will give him some. That is a huge steak. I will not be able to eat that all, but it's going to be a protein dinner. And my adult beverage, which I've covered in tinfoil so I don't get any copyright issues with the video. That steak was amazing. Me and Zeus both thoroughly enjoyed that. Great. So now we got round 2, dessert. So I always go get these in the bulk aisle. Love this for on the trail as well as a snack. I like Bit of Honey, Jolly Ranchers, and caramels. Those are like my favorite trail like snacks, I guess, or trail energy snacks. I know it's junk food, but I guess that's just my vice. Got a couple adult beverages for tonight. Not going to disclose what that is for the reasons you guys know. I am really enjoying this this base camping stuff. I've done it a little bit with my daughter on a little bit bigger of a scale, but this is kind of nice. If you're going to a hiking area that's kind of farther away and you got the time to do like an overnight, this is great. You just put a little bit of camping supplies together, bring a little bit of food, you know, whatever. You know, you can just kind of chill out in the woods overnight. Don't have to do it by yourself. Unfortunately, I do have to do it by myself on this one because daughter couldn't come, but I still have my dog. So really kind of a good way of doing things. I don't think I just never really kind of thought about it, doing that. Glad I'm doing it now. It's especially this rooftop tent makes it a little bit nicer, you know, to have everything contained on the top of your roof of your car, and you can just fold it out. That's really nice. I mean, of course, I could bring a tent. I could just throw a tent out here, but it's really nice and a little bit more comfortable and contained for me just to have this on here. And then, you know, I can throw the rest of the stuff in the back of my little Subaru here. You know, everything I need to cook with, extra gear, whatever. Really, really small, you know, gear setup. In the past, you know, for family camping, you guys have never seen any of those. I don't think you've seen any of those videos, but I used to literally carry a trailer behind my, I had a Pathfinder before this, and just set up like this monstrous, like base camp, like setup, like long term. Usually when we go out, we would be going out for like, you know, 4 to 5 days or more. So, you know, I got a full camp kitchen and just like everything you can think of. But this is kind of like a happy medium between kind of like a backpacking thing and, you know, just like a day hike. Really enjoying it a lot, and makes you able to kind of stay out a little bit longer, especially on of course, the longer hikes like this one, 2.5 hours away from the house. So the gentleman that I saw when I was driving on here, he came back a little bit ago. He was kind of lost, and I pulled up my GPS and kind of showed him where to go with his dog. So unfortunately, I would have invited him to stay here, but he seemed like he was really determined to go where he's going. Got plenty of little adult beverages that I could have shared with him if he wanted to, and I definitely would have shared that steak. And I always have like just a ton of stuff just ready to go in the Subaru. Just, you know, I keep a full backpack set up in there, and then I've got like, you know, dry good foods in there, and just, I mean, literally, you know, I could just come home and like jump in the car and go on an adventure, at least an overnight. Multi-day, I'd probably have to, you know, get a few extra little things, but kind of like it makes it a little bit easier that way. It is almost dark. Across the road from where my rooftop tent is, you can cross over, and it's hard to get down here because it's so overgrown with wheat, like all kinds of foliage. But there is a creek running back here. The dog is actually down there right now playing, as you can see. Some of the most amazing little waterway spots and things like that are just areas that I found that are not touched by people. Those are the ones that are truly the most special, ones that are hard to get, where maybe no one or very few people have found. Those are awesome because you can just tell that they haven't been touched by human beings or very little. I'm going to chill out here with the dog for a little bit longer, and then we're going to retire up to the rooftop tent. It's getting kind of dark now. I've got the little light on here. And then tomorrow morning, I got real coffee. I brought my my French press and some Starbucks and some creamer. So real coffee in the morning, sweet. And then I forgot what I brought for breakfast. I think I might just have some like grits or maybe some oatmeal. Can't remember. I got a bunch of stuff in there. I figure out whatever I want, but it's gonna be warm food and real hot coffee, which I am gonna be so happy about. All right, guys. Well, we will see you in the morning. Good night. Good morning. Me and Zeus got up early this morning, about 5:30. We just didn't need 12 hours of sleep since we go to bed so early when you're kind of out backpacking or camping or whatever. Once it gets dark, it's bedtime more or less. Anyways, it rained like crazy last night. Total torrential downpour. And unfortunately, I had to pack away the rooftop tent wet. Pack it away wet. So I've never had to do that, at least not this wet. So hopefully, maybe it'll get nice today. And when I get home, I can get it out and dry it out so it doesn't mold. If not, then as soon as it does, then I'm going to get that sucker dried up. Anyways, I'm going to get in the tailgate back there and just kind of warm up some water and do my coffee. And then we're going to be heading to Kentucky Falls. Got the water boiling up for the coffee. Got the old French press over here and the thermos with the creamer ready to go. Nothing like real coffee. So we got our coffee all ready to go. Me and Zeus heading to Kentucky Falls. And just in time, it just started pouring rain. So I was able to break that rooftop tent down, not in the rain, and do my coffee and everything. Perfect. All right, well, we will see you guys at the trailhead. But yeah, right after I left the Kentucky Falls trailhead, after I finished the hike, it started snowing and hailing mix. And right now, as you can see out there, its hail is just coming down like crazy. It's 43 degrees, which is crazy, and we still got hail coming down. So I made a choice to go back the same way I came, even though it's going to be longer. This way that I came in from Sweet Creek Falls is paved 90% of the way, and it is a gorgeous drive through here. Go over the North Fork River multiple times via bridges, and it's crazy. There's this paved road that just goes up through the mountains. I'm going across a ridgeline right now. It's pretty amazing. Really windy though, super windy. It has been cleared. There's been a couple spots where I've seen where there were down trees, but they've kept it maintained, so which is nice. I was scared that I was gonna come on like a log across the road, and I don't have a chainsaw with me, so I would be stuck turning around. But I drove this whole thing yesterday and it was clear the whole way. The other way, I guess, would be the traditional way to get into Kentucky Falls and leave. Apparently it's pretty rough, a lot of potholes and stuff, and I finished up that hike quite quickly. I've got plenty of time. This is just, it's going to add like an extra hour and 15 minutes. At least I know that's how long it's going to take to get back to Sweet Creek Falls. I don't know how long it takes to get out the other way, but I figured I would take the path of least resistance and not put so much stress on my my Subaru. We just passed a North Fork trail. We're going over the North Fork River right now, bridge. Beautiful. I think that's probably the first of either 3 or 4 bridges. It's interesting. I don't understand why this road is out here. What was the purpose? I know originally probably maybe logging. That's what I would think. It would make sense, but usually logging roads, they don't pave, they just gravel them. So at some point someone made the decision to pave it. Either that or the logging company just decided to spend a bunch of money on paving it too. Interesting. I don't know, maybe it's like considered like a fire service road for like if there's forest fires, for firefighters to get out here easier? I don't know. If you know, throw it down in the comment section. Coming through kind of a open area. I think it was logged and they cleared it. Just went over North Fork, Smith River. There's a bunch of down here, I don't know if you can see it, there's a bunch of, well, there's like an old car. Looks like someone's been doing shooting practice down there. There's not any houses out there, so I don't know who owns that land. Cattle crossing, there's little cattle crossing things. And it has started to hail again as well. Oh, looks like I'm coming up on someone. Another Toyota truck, just like the last one. Probably got another fisherman out here. So this just gives you an idea of what the gravel portion of the road looks like. There's little potholes here and there, but it's not anything big. I've been on way worse. It's kind of like it was, because there's concrete on here still. It's kind of like it was paved at one point, but then it just kind of got, you know, not kept up, and then they just kind of like re-graveled it. These little potholes I'm going over right now are really the major ones, and there's very few. Most of it's pretty flat. It's just like mixed between concrete and gravel. Actually, it's going paved, looks like right now, almost. Just hitting a few of these last bumps. Okay, so I'm back on the pavement, almost back to Sweet Creek Falls now. So that little area is literally, I timed it, it's like, I think 12 minutes that you're on gravel. So it's not a whole lot. Most of it's just pavement, just like you see here. And there's little turnouts because it's a one-lane road. Like if someone comes up, you can pull off. So pretty well maintained, with the exception of that little gravel area, which even that's not that bad. Just some potholes here and there, no big deal. I just passed the Sweet Creek Falls trailhead, and trailhead to trailhead, from there to Kentucky Falls, I timed it, it was like 50 minutes. So I think that makes more sense to go that way, depending on what time of the year, of course, since that area that I was going on is non-maintained, wintered maintained roads. If it was during that time of year, probably wouldn't want to use that. Could run into snow and blowdowns across the road. But, you know, in the early spring season, or, you know, any other time of the year, probably be just fine. I'm almost back to Eugene, making really good time. I should probably be home by 2 o'clock. It's about 12:30 now. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Creators Camp, kind of a new series that I'm doing in conjunction to all my other videos. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more of these to come as well. You guys take care. Have a good weekend. Thanks for joining me.